Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to Sex, Dating, Purity, and Addiction. My name is Abibo Berepele. I'm a parent and teen coach, addiction recovery therapist, child sexual purity advocate, and of course, I help teenagers become purposeful, responsible, successful, and live pure in a messed up society. We've been on a series of sex and sexual purity. Today, I want to answer basic questions teenagers, preteens, and many people ask about sex. Are we ready? Don't forget to subscribe and click the like button, subscribe and share this video so that others can also join and learn from us. All right. So the first question they ask is, what is sex? I get this question everywhere we go. They keep asking, what is sex? What do I need to know about sex? Here is my definition of sex. Sex is a godly romantic intercourse between a husband and his wife. Sex is a godly romantic intercourse between a husband and his wife. So if it is not godly romantic intercourse between a husband and his wife, it's not sex. So if it's not between a husband and his wife, it's not sex. If it's not in marriage, it's not sex. So sex again is what? Godly romantic intercourse between a husband and his wife. The second question they always ask is, who created sex or who invented sex? I used to laugh when they ask this question. The truth is, God is the creator of sex. God invented sex. God designed sex for a husband and his wife. He designed it for satisfaction, for pleasure, for reproduction. And it can only happen in marriage between a husband and his wife. The third question they ask is, what age should I have sex? So should I have it when I'm 18? Should I have it when I'm 19? Should I have it when I'm 20? Or when I'm out of university? And this is my answer to this question. Sex can only happen in marriage between a husband and his wife. So let me explain it. Sex stands alone when it is of God. So some people say, oh, two boys had sex, or two girls had sex, or somebody that is not married, they had sex. I said, no, that's not sex. You can't have sex outside marriage. And that's the truth. You can't have sex outside marriage. So when it's between a husband and his wife, it is called sex. Please don't forget, the scripture is our standpoint and our yardstick for definition of sex. It is between a husband and his wife, it is sex. When it's between two people that are not married, or a married and unmarried person, or two people that are not married, it's called sexual immorality or premarital sex. Between a man that is married with another person or whatsoever, a woman that is married with another person, it's called, adultery. All right. I used to say fornication is funny occasion, when you take an occasion that does not belong to you. So there's a prefix and a suffix that is added to sex when it is not sex according to God's will. Premarital sex, that is before marriage. And then sexual immorality. Are you seeing it? So sex is always standing alone because it's of God. Why are my peers having sex? That's what a lot of teenagers ask me. Sir, they're having boyfriend, they're having girlfriend. Why are they having sex? Now, there are reasons why they think they're having sex. Let me correct that statement. Your peers are not having sex. Nobody can have sex except with his husband and his wife. So I've corrected that statement. Don't forget, you can't have sex outside marriage. It is between a husband and his wife. So your peers are not having sex. They are having fornication. They are having sexual immorality. They are having premarital sex. And it's because they don't know what sex is and they don't know the consequence of premarital sex. Now, sex has a consequence. Let me explain that to you. The consequence of sex is the blessing of God, is the favor of God, is the satisfaction that God gives to the couple. I often say to teenagers or whoever, when you are having sex, God and angels are celebrating it because you are honoring God with your body that belongs to Him. All right. But when you are having premarital sex or sexual immorality, it is Satan and demons you are honoring, and they are the ones celebrating it. They are the ones that are applauding you. Imagine, I asked them, who do you want to applaud you? Is it God and angels or Satan and demon? Of course, they'll say God and angel. So you need to understand this, all right? Why are my parents having sex? No, they're not having sex. They're having sexual immorality, all right? What about using condom? Condom does not take away condemnation. Condom does not take away guilt. There's something I often say. Telling your child or teenager to wear condom is like telling them to be careful while driving your car. A 13-year-old child that does not know how to drive, you take him to the steering, give him the key and say, please be careful while driving. You see, the consequence of sexual immorality cannot be distracted or destroyed by condom. Condom cannot protect the consequence of sexual immorality. It might reduce the possibility of, pregnancy and all of that. But what about the guilt? What about the shame? What about the struggle? What about the heartbreak and the emotional pains? So condom is not a protection. I tell people the best protection for sexual immorality is abstinence. All right. The more you abstain, the more you become sexually pure. All right, I'd like to read just 2 scriptures with us, because many times people get into sexual immorality thinking they are having sex. They are not. They are living by their flesh. You see, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 3, the English Standard Version says, "For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality." That you abstain from sexual immorality. There's a small book, a mini book I'm working on for teenagers and preteens. It's titled Flee, because many people say, oh, I can overcome it. Please, the best way to overcome it is to flee. And if you look at Galatians chapter 5, it gives us a lot of descriptions. If you look at from verse 16, it talks about the lust of the flesh and all of those things. But verse 19 says, now the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, impurity, and sensuality. The works of the flesh. So when you give in to your flesh, it leads to sexual immorality. Don't forget, as I subscribe to these teachings that I have been giving to you, sex happens only between a husband and his wife. Can a teenager kiss without sex? I said these things are leadways to the full activity of intercourse. All right. So kissing is a part of sexual immorality or premarital sex. Caressing, romancing, touching, and all of those things, they are part of it. All right. So if you got these values, please click the comment section, share values, subscribe, and then like, and also share these things with others. Also reach out to us, because we want to impact more lives and transform generation. Sex is good. Sex is sweet. Sex is from God to husband and his wife. Enjoy the rest of it. Ciao, ciao.